there first.
Bless you.
God bless you.
God
too.
bless
Thank
you.
you.
Treasure Coast Connector,
I love it.
connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to the Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras of the Ferris Group, one of our sponsors. To learn more about them, visit the website at www.ferrisgroup.com. That's PHARUS group.com, or call them directly at 772-223-3344. Treasure Coast Connector is a show that puts the spotlight on local business owners so that we can learn all about them, what makes them special, and the why behind what they do, and what makes their products and services so unique. Today's show, we're going to be helping business owners and other professionals with polishing up their communication skills so that they can learn to speak like a pro, leaving people that are listening to them with the feeling of, tell me more. And joining me today is Sasha ZeBryk of SashaSpeaks, and she is a communications expert, and she helps people uncover their hidden power so that they can present themselves to others with purpose, power, and passion. Sasha ZeBryk, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so happy to have you here.
And it's a double happiness because I'm happy for you and your show.
Well, I will be fangirling all over you during this interview, so I just apologize for that in advance because I am just so happy to have you here.
Thanks.
One of the things I wanted to start off by asking you is, you are well known as a keynote speaker. You have traveled the globe and you have addressed thousands of people all over the world, but you are also known for helping people through your workshops to help people communicate effectively. Tell us why you decided to start your practice, Sasha Speaks, Sasha by the Sea.
It all started on a trip driving to Boston. My husband and I lived 2 hours from the city, and on a Sunday, I was invited to sing at a baptism. So in the car, he snuggled in as the driver, and he turns and says to me, Ellen, something that was so powerful. He said, you are significantly underemployed. And I started immediately defending my customers and my territory in New England and all the trips I won in my company car and my bonuses. And he said, all of that is true. And then John said something that changed the trajectory of my thinking. He went like this, and he said, and they're using this much of your talent.
Ooh.
And that thumb and forefinger, that little inch, started me thinking about my value, my work, my future. It was the most significant thing he said since he uttered I do.
Aww.
Because it stopped me and forever changed. So 2 weeks later, I'm at my breakfast table looking through mail, and I see all these seminars that are offered nationally, and I say, oh, I have to take this one and this one and this one. And then a divine bolt hit my head, and I said, I have all these degrees. I have a few degrees. Why don't I work for the company? So I called one company, a national company. They vetted me over a period of time. And here's what I learned. Not only did I learn how to set up a 6-hour seminar, because nobody knew me. Who knows me? I'm starting a business speaking. Nobody in the area knows me. My territory is all of New England. I learned from the best because I partnered with them. Not only did I learn how to speak, but I learned how to sell, because we weren't paid very much to do a 6-hour seminar. We could make it up with CDs, tapes, books.
Yes.
So I saw somebody sell $600 a day, and I saw somebody sell 6,000 to 10. So I studied the people who were
Very smart.
That's what I learned. And the second thing I did, we had 7 colleges near me. So I thought, how can I be known? They could do all the marketing in the colleges, but what's going to make people come? And I said, I think I'll design some interesting titles, like hook 'em, book 'em, and keep 'em.
Yeah.
Like they hung on every word, or 6 Wicked Ways to Woo Your Customer. And then, of course, do you know what the bestseller was?
No,
Introduce Yourself in Technicolor.
Yes.
The Technicolor one got people from all over.
I thought that
So
might be
the
it.
colleges, it was the title that drew them in.
Yeah, yeah. Very exciting. I love hearing, honestly, the backstory, and I knew some of your backstory. So thank you for sharing with
And that's
that
only the
yeah.
beginning.
Of course, absolutely. The next thing I wanted to address, I want to scare people a little bit, because you're going to help them. You're going to take that fear away from them. We're going to be talking about public speaking. You have a certain term, speak easy. So we'll cover that in just a moment. But public speaking scares so many people. And you know what it does, Sasha? It actually impacts people in their business negatively. And they could really suffer as a result.
They do, because promotions in companies are made through communication skills,
Yes.
not technical skills. So when I hired my first coach, she was the first president of the National Speakers Association, Patricia Fripp. We call her Fripp. Frippy said to me 2 things. She said, Sasha, nothing positions you ahead of the crowd more than the ability to stand up and speak eloquently. The second thing she said was, show me a week in your life and I'll show you if you're going to be successful. She wasn't going to coach me. She wasn't going to coach me unless I had those ingredients. Do you know what Jerry Seinfeld said about speaking?
Yeah. Well, I might know, but I'm going to let you tell it. Go ahead.
Jerry says, more people at a funeral are comfortable in the casket than they are giving a eulogy.
Yeah.
That's how fearful people
true.
are.
They're afraid they're more afraid of public speaking than death and taxes.
And so to help people move through the fear, I first have to start with their feet. I start with people's feet, not their voice and not their ideas.
Okay.
Start with having them stand in a way that they own the physical space, whether they're sitting or standing. Because power starts from your feet up, not from here.
That's very true. That's yes. You're the way that you hold yourself and carry yourself. So there's a workshop that you kind of wanted to address. So let's talk about Speak Easy. Tell me about that.
See, I want people to think that they can take this inner wisdom that they have and package it. What I help people really do is package and prep.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't know how to take all of their ideas. It seems like a buffet and everything's mixed together. What I help them do is make a cake. I show them how to do 3 layers. Those are their 3 points. I show them the ending. That's the platter. And then what draws somebody to a cake, Ellen?
It's the icing. It's the decoration.
What would a birthday cake be without the icing? What would a wedding cake be without the icing? So the icing I want you to do not first, but last, like you do a cake.
Right.
So you figure out, after you have your 3 layers and your points, and after you have your ending, how and what story, statistic, element am I going to use to draw people to that cake, to my story, to my whole talk? If you had a wedding and there was no icing on there, people would walk by. So that's what happens. People do not start well, and I help them hook them.
That's very
Teach them what that means.
Absolutely.
In the first 6, 7 seconds, not a long time.
And how long is the workshop?
This one that I'm doing in the end of the month, it's 3 hours.
Okay.
Most of mine are 3 hours because creativity starts happening in the beginning of the 3rd hour. You can see the power of the creativeness when you've gone through the agony and now you're waiting for the epiphany.
And that's a long enough time, 3 hours. You can get a lot of information across. They can put it into practice.
Well, they do put it into practice because the pudding is in the preparation. I have them stand up and get coached, even if it's for 15 seconds or 1 minute. Most people do it. And I say, like Michael Caine says, sweat in rehearsal, shine in performance. Get it out in the class so when you go in, you're cool.
I have seen people before they work with you and the after. And so there's a group of us that have coined a term affectionately, and we say that they have been Sasha-fied. Sasha-fied.
Oh, I have to write this down.
Yes. And so do you want to share maybe a story about somebody that, came to you and what happened as a result?
When I did college programs, there was a director of communications at the second biggest hospital in Massachusetts. She loved it, and she said to me, Sasha, I want you to work with my docs. My docs speak medicalese. I want you to teach them how to speak regular people language.
Oh, yes.
So I had 47 docs in this 5-hour seminar. A few weeks later after the seminar, one calls me. Now I'm in Florida working, and one call says, Sasha, accident last night. He's a surgeon. He says, I saved his life. Media wants to talk to me. What do I do? First, we take a breath.
Yep.
So I started off with his middle point. What do you want to say about the accident? Okay, let's go to the ending. And then I gave him his icing. How do you hook that audience? Because he has 60 seconds to do that.
Yeah, not a lot of time.
So here's what happened. After we did this little on-the-phone call coaching, he has a practice. He moved from Massachusetts to Philadelphia, started a practice. He's a surgeon, brilliant surgeon. So I helped over the course of these years take his practice from 4 people, 1 office, to 4 offices in 2 states, to 127 people, coaching him, working on customer service, treating every patient like a guest. And when you work with somebody for a long time, this was 18 years ago.
Wow. And
so I helped him get into West Point, speaking now for 7 years, over 18 times, writing his second book, talking to the cadets about outthinking fear. And Ellen, when you work with a client that deeply, people get married and people die. So we write toasts and testimonials and eulogies. And he calls me his MacGyver. He says, whatever I bring you, you can elevate it. And I think of him as, I'm his fast track. He's a surgeon who works 80 hours a week. He doesn't have this kind of time to. And another one locally, and I'm happy to even tell you her name.
Okay.
Our friend Valerie Esposito.
Oh,
Valerie,
yes.
fearful, just shaking when she got up. And she said, Sasha, I want to take this course, Technicolor. I want to do it. I said, when you're ready, Valerie. She came in, and over this last year, she's not only affected her words, because now her insurance company, Schlitt, is the bodyguard. Her body changed. And when I see that transformation,
so true.
You saw it.
I saw it,
I saw it
just last
Friday.
week. I know,
Yes.
at Anna's lunch, and Anna Valencia Tillery, and
I'm
the
proud
women's
of
premiere.
her, deeply proud, because she didn't give up. For a year she's been working, 7 months, 8 months. So Valerie.
Just so bubbly and enthusiastic and intelligent, clear and concise, and just...
And the metaphor, the analogy. So Valerie has my heart.
Yes, mine too, and it's just amazing. So right now, I hate to say it because I'm having so much fun, and I know Sasha is too, but we actually have to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more of Treasure Coast Connector and continuing our talk about effective communication. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Jennifer Toby from Treasure Coast Compassionate Care, serving all of the Treasure and Gulf Coast. We provide a wide array of services, including driving our clients to their physician, shopping, cleaning, making beds, reminding clients to take their medication, providing hygiene assistance, personal laundry and bed linens, preparing and serving meals, providing respite care for caregivers, helping with correspondence, providing socialization, friendship, and support, going on walks, and encouraging and participating in stimulating activities. So call us today for an in-home assessment at 772-226-7072. 772-226-7072, or visit us at treasurecoastcompassionatecare.com.
Joey. I want to get there early to get the best stuff.
But we have to go to another garage sale. You do know there's a better way. You can get phenomenal stuff and great deals on almost everything at our Habitat Restore.
Hey, isn't that where you got your office desk?
Find great stuff at the renovated and expanded Indian River Habitat Restore on US 1 just north of 45th Street. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6. Donations of gently used stuff is always appreciated. Shop, donate, volunteer. Habitat Restore is a nonprofit.
Looking for a change? How about Renaissance? Visit Renaissance Senior Living and see what La Vida Bella means in Vero. Convenient to downtown and Miracle Mile at 2100 10th Avenue, US 1. Offering 36 apartments for assisted living residents to live the good life close to everything in Vero. We have 24 apartments for memory care residents, a secure and safe space for those living with dementia and Alzheimer's issues. Stay connected to your loved ones' lives and find new friends to share your life with. RenaissanceVeroBeach.com to find out more.
Maison Martinique has a mini menu with smaller portions and discounted prices. They have a lobster special creation every Wednesday. Don't forget to ask about business luncheons and wedding receptions. Open at 5 p.m. Maison Martinique, award-winning dining. Come to Havana Nice, a piano bar with spirits and a fun menu. Havana Nice is a home of 2-for-1 happy hour Sunday through Friday, 5 to 7. Football Sundays and a free taco bar and drink specials. Opening 4:30 daily and 1 p.m. on Sundays. Caribbean Boutique Hotel, South Ocean Drive. Member of the iTix Trading Community or iTix Knowledge, so welcome.
Well, welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and with me is Sasha ZeBryk of SashaSpeaks, and we've been talking about the power of effective communication. And Sasha, I want to talk now about the business owners. You sincerely want to help people succeed in their business. And we need to really understand our customers. Who are they? What do they need from us? So give us some advice on what we can do to get better acquainted with our customers so we can build those relationships and help them even more.
I'll share something that when I graduated from college, I had a stepfather that we called the chief. Mm-hmm. One day he had no daughters. The next day he had 8 when he married my mother. And here's what he said. I spent the summer with them after then I went off to start a business. And I said, Chief, I'd like to sit down and talk with you. I'd like you to give me advice on what's the most important thing I can do when I go to Boston, start my business. He said, Marcia, using my baptismal name, know your men. Know what makes them tick. He was a foreman on the Pennsylvania Railroad, and anytime anybody had a problem with anybody, anything, ask the chief. The chief could fix emotional issues. He had very little formal education, but he, I think, a master's degree in people skills. And he was, so when I left, he said to me, know what makes them tick. He said, smart people study all these figures, but wise people study people. And so that's when I started understanding how my 8 sisters and 3 brothers all took in information differently. And I started paying attention to how to convince and persuade them using their language, not mine. So I studied this and became pretty good at helping people figure out who's a driver, how does this person, this shy person, the amiable, the expressive, how can they be sold differently?
Okay, yeah.
And that was the key. If somebody is a driver, high personality, you have the Clintons and they'd make decisions quickly. And then you have these people, Mr. Rogers, he will take more time making a decision.
Yes.
So on the broad scale and on the small scale, I go to companies and help them understand how to talk and open up and close the sale based on the way information comes in to your brain, and how to peacefully and successfully give you, the customer, what you need to make a choice and a decision.
Yeah, because it's all about being consultative, and that's what people are looking for. So another thing that I wanted to talk about, which is a lot of fun for you and me, and that is networking. I call it gallivanting. I call it going to a party. That's honestly how I look at it. And working the room, there's a way to do it gracefully and elegantly. And a lot of people, they get caught up with, how to network and how to work the room effectively, or even if they have to go to a social engagement and they don't know a lot of people and they feel uncomfortable. Let's talk about networking, how to do it well, and perhaps what people should avoid doing.
Okay, remind me of the don'ts, okay? Because there's a lot of good do's.
Yeah.
As part of the National Speakers Association, I had the privilege of being in Mary Kay Ash's audience. Mary Kay founded Mary Kay Cosmetics years ago. And here's my takeaway from 40-some years ago. Mary Kay said, every human has the same hunger. We all desire, as if she said, there's like this sign across their chest that says, make me feel important. And when I heard Mary Kay, that became my mission.
Okay.
So I Sasha-fied it.
Very good.
I Sasha-fied it in the last years by saying, when you go anywhere, it's more important to be interested than interesting, because when you're interested, they'll find you interesting.
Yeah.
That is my basis. Everything comes from this Mary Kay and that. So let me ask you this, Ellen. You don't have to answer it, but ask it. So what's the difference between a bore, a gossip, and a great conversationalist? The bore talks about herself, and the gossip talks about
other people.
And
that's
the great
not relevant.
conversationalist, great conversationalist talks to you about you. Yeah. And so that is the key to any networking event. And so if you're shy, be successfully shy. If you're an introvert, master the art of questions. If you're an extrovert, master the art of questions. For the extroverts, for the listener, they're good at listening. I mean, for the introvert, they're good at listening. I say stay, but get some questions. For the extrovert, I say 80-20.
Oh, that's
80%
true. 80%
talk about, let the person talk, 20% you talk. So that, and it's so important. Here's what I developed. I call them the 3 L's. Look, lean, and listen. Look, especially at their eyes while you're talking, not over their shoulder at the next important person
that you want to,
Lean in just enough to show how, and look with your whole body. Not here, not there. There's such a respect. And you know what I call this? I've watched really good people do this over the years. I call it, it's like stillness. And for me and you who are high extroverts, stillness is an authoritative behavior. We can get respect by paying attention. And
it's true.
The bottom line is let them talk. Get them to talk and let them talk. To me, that's the number one thing. Now, you asked me don'ts, right?
Yes. Well, give us just one important don't, just because I want to make sure that we stay within our allotted radio time.
Okay, don't sell. Don't hand your card out.
Thank you.
Don't hand your card out. A card has no value unless, if you want to make it a subtle way of getting their card, of giving your card, you say, let's swap. Let's swap.
Yes.
And don't go into a group of 2 without knowing. Don't break into a group of 2. They might be fertilizing a relationship. And here's my final one. Ready?
Yep.
Don't introduce yourself in a boring way.
Yes.
Make it technicolor. Separate yourself from everybody. No titles. Value.
Now, there's one very last important question to ask you, Sasha.
Yes.
People need to know, I know this, they're leaning forward right now, watching this and listening. They want to connect with you. Tell everybody before we go how they can connect with you.
SashaSpeaks.com, SashaSpeaks.com. Or here's a phone number. Please call me. I love to hear the sound of your voice. 772-918-4041. May 31st, we can hook 'em, book 'em, and keep in 6 wicked ways to woo your audience.
Well, that is wonderful. So I hope that you enjoyed this show as much as I did. I always learn something new every time I'm around Sasha. So I am your host, Ellen Contreras, with the Treasure Coast Connector. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye, but we will be back next week with another wonderful episode. And to learn more about the sponsor Ferris Group, visit their site, www.ferrisgroup.com, PHARUS group.com, or call them directly, 772-223-3344. I hope everyone has a wonderful week and that you get Sasha-fied soon.
That's great, Ellen. I'm sorry, did I?